Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Legends Symbiosis, where we are in a little bit, I think, of a precarious position here. Blue settling forward on us is dangerous. With a lot of factions, we'd be upset about this because they're severely reducing our living space. Obviously, that's not a big problem for the Mykara, but I think this aggressive forward settling belies, or rather, not belies, the opposite of belies, betrays their true intentions, which are to kill us with swords, lots of swords. So, we are going to engage in a little bit of pre-venge here and take them on because I believe these numbers here indicate that they have a lack of military strength. Although, actually, you know what? The fact that they have less than 100 fortification means that they got sieged probably by minor factions, and that's embarrassing. But the fact that they are no longer being sieged, the number is now going up, might mean that they have military in the area that they just used to kill the minor factions. So actually, that's a little bit concerning. Kind of talking myself out of this, because there could be guys like right here. But, to waffle one more time, I think we're in a lot of trouble. I think we need to make some kind of move against Blue, and we need to gain some power ourselves. They could certainly cough up some resources for us. Although, I'm a little annoyed by their settle here, because they settled in an area that's like totally fine, but if they had settled near this golden tree, then we would get the benefit of the golden tree when we take over their city. How selfish of them. Alright, so let's go ahead and go here. Do we have enough glass steel? Okay, here's something that annoys me about this game. It's not a big deal, but you can see here, the retrofit cost for this army says 6 dust and 6 glass steel. And it's lit up, it's not grayed out, we could do it. Despite the fact that apparently we only have 5 glass steel. That's because sometimes, in this game, decimal values are simply truncated off, while in other cases they are rounded. So the retrofit cost is showing as 6 glass steel, because it requires 5.4 glass steel, and it's rounding up to the nearest whole point of resources. This is showing 5 because we have 5.4 and it's simply truncating the decimal off. That drives me a little bit crazy. It doesn't matter. It upsets me more than it ought to. But hey, I'm upset. Alright, let's do the thing, right? I have this attack. Hold on. Let's step a little forward, get vision. Okay, it looks safe to me. I'm gonna go for it. Let's make something happen. They're pitying us because they have more cities than we do. Well, that's okay. I mean, it's true, but I don't know that it's something to be proud of, necessarily. I've declared war on you for your hubris. And all of our guys are within reinforcement range, so let's do it. You and me, buddy. You and me. Here's the thing. I don't actually know how the order of the reinforcement list affects the way units come into battle. So on the first turn, we're going to get both of our units, both of these armies as reinforcements, right? Because we have 2 reinforcement spaces and 2 units coming in. But my bet is that the order of these 2 coming in determines which space in battle they will come in on. And I just have, I have no idea how to know whether it's better to have them in the reverse order or... It's a pretty minor thing, but... There's not really a but there. It's a pretty minor thing. This doesn't matter. It almost certainly doesn't matter at all. Okay, so we're going to have our hero step to here and attack that guy. And the reason I want to do this is because I'm trying to make it impossible for the militia to attack our ranged units. They can fight the rumblers all they want. But we're going to have... The hero's going to form a bottleneck, right, with this cliff wall, this cliff face here. And then we're going to move this guy away. You have 3 movement, which will allow you to go 1, 2, 3. But with this guy in this position, he can't hit anybody except the Rumbler. So, and then you guys all just focus up. Everybody shoot this dude. You please do the focus thing. Okay. Our Rumblers have poor movement and poor initiative, and we're going to have to work around that a little bit. That said, they have good counterattacks. Our hero's just going to do, you know, that thing he does, where he's amazing. Okay, good work, everyone. That's a real good start. Oh, you know what? I forgot about the fact that he's slowed because of our guys having slowdown. Now, he's going to take a little bit more work to get through, probably, because he's in the city space. Oh, but he's not getting the urban area bonus. Right, because the city's under siege, I think is why. Alright, city conquered. That was easy. What is the Draken Symbiosis bonus? 100% cost reduction on minor faction assimilation, and +2 influence on the city per pacified village in our whole empire. That's not bad. That's actually a pretty good one. I like that quite a bit. So we gotta hold on to the city for 6 turns to make that happen. And what else do we want to do here? Well, I could run over and grab this movement conflux. It's a little silly to grab it with just the 1 unit, but also I think there's a real good chance that if we don't grab it now, it just goes to waste. So, alright, what else? What else? There is an Urkan over here. So one thing I didn't even think about, I was just like, man, it would be inconvenient to get over to him. I don't think we're going to be able to do that. But one thing I was not thinking about is that we could use it, we could select a unit and right-click on him to show the interaction panel, and thus know what luxury it would take to tame him. So that's 30 Moonleaf. We do not have 30 Moonleaf, that's for sure. But that's a piece of information we can use for the future. Obviously, fighting him is going to be tricky. His stats are not amazing at the beginning of the game, but he has a huge amount of health. And we'd have to get through all these lice. Yeah, that's a tall order. We're gonna need him to ask for a resource we actually have. Alright, so... Oh hey, our approval dropped. I wonder if that Overgrown City approval bug is still present in the community patch. That would be unfortunate. So, where are we at on other stuff? Okay, first of all, I want to go talk to Blue real quick. Interesting. You can see he's showing as exhausted already. That's a good sign. That means that we judged correctly. He's a little short on military. He feels like continuing this war would be bad for him. We could get a truce really quickly here. Oh yeah, he'd go truce for like almost nothing. Let's figure out exactly what the cost would be. 49 of my dust, 17 influence, and we just get to keep the city. Now, he's going to hold a grudge. He will probably never forget the thing that we've done to him here. But this is a pretty good price for a city. Plus that ability. The thing is, if he's feeling exhausted and he's willing to pay, that might mean that he feels that he's so weak that we can maybe take another city off of him. So I'm gonna give that a try. Let's see if we can. He's got this city over here. We don't know anything about it, sadly. But let's press our luck a little bit. Let's see what is going on over in this direction. We gotta make sure that our reinforcements are moving with us, though. God, I love health regen. Come along, fellows. Oh, he's coming. Bringing his dudes in into reinforcement position. Maybe we should have the fast guy going ahead as a scout. Oh, he actually does have an army in this region. Hey, don't you run anywhere. I want to fight. I just jumped right into that. Oh, the city of Trode right here has massive reinforcements, actually. Okay, so this is where we need to talk a little bit about how the AI's decision-making works, or at least my deduction of how the AI's decision-making works. The AI tries to, figure out its place in the war based on what it perceives your military strength to be versus what it perceives its own military strength to be. But that's not the only factor. My experience has been that large wins and losses have a sort of a temporary morale effect on the AI. Like, you can break their desire to fight by beating them soundly in a couple of places, and that might just be their army strength falling and them going, oh well, the numbers don't make sense anymore. But my perception is that, that there's an additional factor in there of them feeling good or bad about the way the war is going. The reason I bring this up is that if we were to lose this battle here, I think Blue would start to feel very good about the way this war is going. And it's hard for me to imagine we're going to come out way ahead on this, given the number of units we're seeing here. I guess most of them are pretty bad. He does have some fast-moving flying units that we have to worry about. But I'm wondering if, now that we've seen what the actual defenses in position here are, maybe if we... Oh, wow. He's willing to give us an even cheaper peace deal. Maybe we take this truce deal now, because if we wait until after the battle and we lose, he's gonna gouge us, or maybe not be willing to pursue peace at all. If we take this battle and we win, I will wish I hadn't gotten a truce, but I don't see how that happens. There's just too damn many of them. Let's take that truce. Okay. We are believers in diplomacy. That's another fair point, I guess, is that I think blue is less likely, or the Draken, not whoever is playing blue, but the Draken are less likely to want to be in protracted wars than some of the other AIs. There's a whole like personality thing happening too, where the AI sometimes has some random factors to their personality, and so they don't always behave the same way from game to game. We definitely want to try to put pressure on their flyers. But I do want to underline that everything I say about the AI is based on observation and educated guesswork. If you want to know the true, real, actual facts of why the AI makes the decisions they make, you want to look in the comments for members of the Endless Legend Community Patch team, because they do show up here from time to time. And they can tell you what is actually going on. In particular, Leader Enemy Boss is often in the comments, laying bare the soul of the AI. So, we want to use our hero to deny one of their flying units their move. I think I'm going to go for this one, because this guy has less health, and I think that the Ipitanes can maybe just kill him before he takes his turn. Unfortunately, not all of our Ipitanes are fast enough to go before he takes his turn. Well, let's do our best. Alright, I suspect this is going to go poorly for us, and we're going to lose a lot of units here. Just due to being outnumbered. We need a pretty strong hit. Oh, 60's not bad. We almost got there. That Rumbler is going to be able to sustain a couple more attacks of that strength, I think. Oh, you're kidding me. He didn't finish the job? Well, that doesn't matter. Never mind. I'm talking like that's a big deal. But we can definitely just finish him with a single Ipitane attack, right? Let's have you back off and try to attack these guys from the safest possible distance. Actually, we want to finish him, though, right? And also, it's a good idea to keep your range units grouped up as much as possible, because morale ball, of course. Alright, let's see how this goes. We keep that guy locked up. A little bit of attacking here. Please don't do 0 damage. Okay. You can see there the sweep strike back firing off on our rumblers. Our hero's getting his free counters, which is nice, although 0 damage is less nice. Oh man, I'm starting to wonder if we could maybe... You see that the beam attack actually did something there. I'm starting to wonder if maybe we could have won this, because his units are... Or maybe we might still. Because his units are really bad. Like, a lot weaker than even than I was thinking. I guess we should probably focus up on the guy who has low health, right? So who is the other early Ipitane? You are? We'll probably move to here. Then they're going to do a whole bunch of stuff, and it's very difficult to predict what that might look like. And then the late Ipitane probably will have been attacked by then. Yeah, alright. Our hero is definitely going to drop here, but remember, the hero doesn't actually die in combat unless the whole army dies. So, it's not a big deal when we see him drop to 0 HP. He will be fine. And he's doing a ton of damage on his way. Oh, they left him with 6 HP. Yeah, and the Rumblers are, like, extremely doing the thing we wanted them to do. I'm gonna have him attack here. Because I think this guy's under control, right? So, let's see. Let's assign 2 people to attack this guy. Just in case. Hopefully they won't both be needed. And then we want to focus on this dude from there. Alright. Oh. 0 damage. That's a shame. Starting to see an awful lot of zeros here. Yeah, man, we're just not, like, we're not dealing any damage to them at all anymore. Our hero is a really large percentage of our total damage output. You guys should probably just focus on the dude that you can kill without having to move toward the enemy at all. So yeah, we are going to end up losing some number of units here. I think the truce was the right call. We're not going to have much of a military left by the end of the battle. Alright, everybody... Yep, just do your best to fight from a safe distance. You have one person go here and make sure that guy gets hit with slow. You could go here and still be able to attack. Trying to make sure there's room for everybody to move back to safety, or at least as close to safety as we can get. You are probably not going to get a turn. If you do, go to here. Alright. So a lot of them are dead, and their closest unit is slowed. That's probably a pretty bad trade, in the sense that it's a lot easier for them to produce units than it is for us, because of all their free production. On the whole, I mean, that battle, they lost more than we did there, but not by enough for that to be okay. So I'm glad we took the truce, because we were not going to be able to push any further. We were going to have a hard time defending against this. Okay, so the truce status. Our relationship right now is truce for the next 20 turns. It's like Cold War, except you can't attack each other at all, not even in neutral territory. Like, we can't even attack his units in our territory. And hopefully the truce will hold. You can buy yourself back from truce to war with influence. You're just declaring war again. But the cost is high. If you don't wait for the truce to expire, you have to pay out a lot. Okay, not ideal. You guys probably need to be on that alchemy workshop. We're going to make sure that our unit... I guess I don't have to run, right? We're not in any danger here. But we probably do want to get back. Or maybe I want to go to this direction instead, actually. Because there is a village here to... they would like 8 spices. And we did get a spice extractor here, didn't we? Oh, I thought they were... An extractor was showing on this, but it must have been under construction. We didn't actually let them finish it. So, we don't have spices, and we won't. We could just defeat the village in combat. Solve it that way. That might be the thing we have to do. Alright, let's talk about this thing. We're not happy. Or we're not fervent. I'm wondering if the 25% approval boost from the Empire plan would be enough to push us up there, since it seems like the population of overgrown cities doesn't actually contribute, or isn't affected by happiness boosters. If we wanted to do that, it would be more influence than we have, actually. So never mind. That being the case, do I want to just leave this? Probably not, right? We should buy something else. The fact that I can't get anything tier 2 is a little bit of a shame. Like, I really don't want it to be the case that I have people on dust, so this feels like a little bit wasteful. Yeah, alright, unit cost reduction. We probably will want to build some more military units at some point here. On the whole, I think that war was very successful for us. Right, we still have all these going. They're going to add all the resources from those tiles to our empire pretty soon. Can't really interact with the Urkan, unfortunately. It would be really cool if we could get that Urkan over on our team. But 30 Moonleaf is a high cost. That's a big ask. Interesting. Kapaku just running through my territory. We could close our borders to blue to kick him out, but doing so is not cheap. Yeah, 84 more influence, which we simply do not have. I thought we had this time so that the Alchemy Workshop and the thing were going to finish at the same time. Well, this is part of the reason I was saying that we need to get some more territory and stuff. We're just having a really tough time building things right now. Building and researching. Extra resources would be really nice. We can build a burrow out to the water. We're still only on 9 pearls, because a lot of our pearls got sniped while we were distracted. I guess start work on Rumbler. I mean, we're going to convert over to Alchemy Workshop immediately. Can I pull people off of... Yes. We can, in fact. I'm off of Science now. I think we'll sit here for 2 turns. We'll start the Alchemy Workshop next turn. But we'll finish getting our next citizen, and then after that we'll devote ourselves to industry for a minute and get that done. Once we have the Alchemy Workshop, we're going to be able to sit on food for a while again, but we got to get that research rate up. It is unacceptably low right now. And the dye has run out. We probably should keep that running. How much wine would we need to pop a booster? 16. That is rough. I should have popped the wine booster before we conquered the city. I wasn't thinking about it. Alright, here's a question. Do we actually want Diplomat's Mance to be next? We need to be able to engage in diplomacy with the other players, and there's definitely value to that. But there's also other things we need, right? Like Central Market will push our capital up to Fervent and leave it there. That's probably pretty important. Let's get the Alchemy Workshop in here. Very, very important. Everybody who can move to industry should, but we obviously need to leave enough people on food to get that extra berth. There we go. Alright, 6 turns, we can certainly bring that down. So I think we're just going to fight these guys. Not totally ideal, but... They have produced a minor faction navy. It's basically just a bunch of centaurs on a boat. Not centaurs, these guys are minotaurs, rather. Alright, we probably don't have to... You know what, let's manual it just to be safe. Oh, because they're pressed up against the coast here, they only actually have 1 space available to deploy troops in. And it's their only reinforcement spot. So that's pretty bad for them. We are going to be able to exercise a tremendous amount of control over this battle. Our hero's probably not necessary for the victory here, but also he won't actually die, and also his healing's crazy, so... Whatever, let's just let him get hit a little bit. He'll be alright. Kinda want to grab this village. We certainly won't use the assimilator or anything, but... It is just another tile, right? And it's more health regen for our units, and... Oh, also... the quest. Although I guess we're gonna finish that quest with these villages anyway. Yeah, how badly do I want this, actually? Maybe I don't. Oh, hold on. I know I'm waffling back and forth on this quite a bit. Alright, what if we pull everybody off of food? We don't want to do that, right? Because food's actually negative then. We want to leave food slightly positive while powering through the Alchemy Workshop. And yeah, let's get this under control. I don't really want to go too far because I want to be in position to attack these guys when they come ashore, just to get rid of them, so that we don't have minor factions running around in our territory screwing things up the way Blue did. I had to say, on the whole, this war was very good to us. We came out way ahead on that. So all of those minor faction villages have been assimilated, or have been overgrown. We have these blood crystals now. Now we must assimilate a minor faction. I assume that that will count as already completed, because we do have one assimilated. I don't have any idea what these guys are doing, by the way. I'm going to go stand over here. Maybe they're going to come ashore right there. We can just attack them then. And obviously we don't have access to the production queue here. So we do have the ability to pop the blood crystal. I don't think that really helps us. Well, actually, 10 points of approval is enough to bump the capital up to fervent, so never mind. That absolutely matters. Yeah, because now we're getting the full food and industry bonus, which is important. Alright, our man ran over to here. Do his desires change over time? Looks like the answer is probably no. Well, we certainly can't fight him with the army we're showing now. We could just change our assimilate if this needs us to actively assimilate one. No, okay. It did eventually count. So we got our Palladian. Move on to the next step of our faction quest, which requires us to search ruins in Trode, Nylon, and Inel. Trode, Nylon, and Inel. Okay. Well, Blue has not actually closed their borders to us. So we can run in there and do stuff. You know what? I'm going to auto-resolve this. Yeah, we came out so far ahead the first time. Our hero's just a very, very good fighter. If Blue does close their borders to us, this could be a real problem. Hopefully they won't. That's pretty much all we have, is hopefully they won't. Dean is almost finished. We're going to get a very significant boost to our science. Still not awesome, honestly. I really wish we could take control of this Urkan. Maybe once the second one spawns, he'll be asking for a resource that's a little bit friendlier to us. Okay, religious fervor has begun. Tell me this is not Blue. Yep, it is Blue closing their borders on me. Well, that makes our quest undoable. We have two options here. Number one, well, I guess we have three options. Number one is we could just ignore the quest. It's an option. It's not an option I like very much. Number two is we could try to negotiate with them for open borders. The problem with that is, first of all, it's going to be expensive. Oh, sorry, that's not what I want. Yeah, they're going to gouge us really badly on it. And secondly, the other problem with that is there's nothing preventing them from closing their borders again next turn. Our third option is to go to war with them again, because that will allow us to disregard their border closure. I don't love that, but they're actually preventing us from reaching all of the ruins, unless we are willing to walk all the way around Jamoy. Which, honestly, maybe I am. Maybe I'm okay with that. And then we potentially could just declare war on them, run in, grab the ruins, and try to run out. They probably will not let us get away with that. If I declare war on them again, they will either, they will not give up until they are losing, or they will exact a hefty price from us. Well, for now, I guess we can just run around and grab pearls. Plus 30% on glass, steel, and titanium item costs. Okay, this is bad for us because we don't have any adamantine and palladian items, but other players do. So this is just a cost increase for us and a cost decrease for the players who are doing well. I can definitely see why that got voted in. If we don't renew the emeralds, yeah, this city does not stay fervent, so let's go ahead and do that. Plus, having the emeralds running does at least make it harder. You know, this might affect Blue's desire to go to war with us, because it's harder to take our capital. Although, also, they maybe don't have vision of this. Maybe they don't even know I'm doing it. Some of his lice are pretty beat up. I wonder how hard exactly it would be to kill him. Like, what are the odds that I could pull it off? Oh wait, Urkans lose stats in the winter, right? Red's having the same thought I am. He failed to do the job. He got some damage in, though. Definitely plus 15% science. And now we have access to the altar. We actually have enough pearls, finally. Let's go ahead and get water. This is happening slowly enough that it probably is going to be pretty difficult to take over the ocean at this point. Pop these guys out and join up so we at least have a full army running around. Our research rate is definitely more sensible now, though. Now that we have some pearls, like, we could overgrow some ruins and try to, like, declare war, then run through the ruins real fast. That feels pretty bad. Negotiating for open borders is just, like, probably off the table, though. Even if we could get him to give us open borders, which we can't, he probably would just rescind it immediately. Make us pay through the nose, and then completely screw us, so we don't actually get any benefit from the deal. That is a thing I have seen happen more than once with the open borders negotiations. All right, so we have science incoming. We have the ability to build ourselves a little bit more approval. This might be the moment for diplomacy. At the very least, being able to work with red against blue would probably be very helpful. Because like I said, blue is probably going to hold a grudge here. I'm not expecting that we are going to be forgiven. But actually have some pearls for ourselves here. Alright, we got our thing. Let's just build this because we're going to need it soon. Yeah. These resource boosters are going to wear off. 4 turns into the next birth. Our city's getting large. It's still only moderately powerful, I would say, but it's getting large. Purple running around with their Skyfin. If you are wondering what the Skyfin is for, mostly the answer is gathering pearls. Am I thinking we're actually going to try to kill the Urkan? Or rather, subjugate it through violence, at least. Probably. Maybe. But maybe I just want 10% attack on my units. Like, the hero dealing bonus damage to the Urkan might not matter all that much, because the hero might get killed early in the fight. Yeah, let's take another 10% damage for our units. Or, attack, rather. I would love a skill that was 10% damage for all our units. That would be lovely. The Urkan's not going to move during the winter. We have no idea how long the winter is going to be. I think I'm going to stay up here. I'm going to stay up here in the hopes that the winter's going to end and then he's going to relocate to somewhere in this region. With Red having destroyed all of his lice, I think that gives us at least a chance of being able to hurt him. He's definitely going to tear through my Rumbler and my hero pretty quickly. But we might be able to do enough range damage over time to make this work. We are leaving stuff a little undefended. It's definitely dangerous. But I'm trying to be hopeful here. So the winter effect that is currently winning on prayers is +1 ice shelf. I'd be totally fine with that happening. In fact, I'd be so fine with that happening that I'm going to pray all my pearls into it, because boy oh boy do I not want either of... This one has very little effect, but the ice shelf could actually be even beneficial to us. Alright, yep, so our approval levels are bad, but the market is coming along. They're not bad, they're just not as good as they could be. And look at that. It came up right next to us. So... okay, his resource does change over time. And now he only wants 15 of a thing. What we could do here is try to get access to the other side of the market. Make that our next tech. Did we just buy his favor? Because I'm definitely still worried about our odds of actually getting a kill on him. He attacks for... he has 200 in attack and he deals 144 damage, which means that every one of his attacks is going to deal damage and a half to us, because he's so far above our defense level. It's going to be like 75% chance to deal damage and a half, 25% chance to deal just normal damage. So there's pretty good odds he one-shots our hero. The Rumbler would survive a hit. We have 82 attack. He has how much defense? 149. So even with a bunch of points of morale, we're not going to beat that. So we're probably doing half damage on each of our attacks. There's no way we can kill him. Not in time. Oh, the other one has spawned. He also would like 15 hydromiel. Well, yeah, that's not great. I'm going to try something here. Let's put everybody on science. I want to get access to the marketplace as soon as possible. Like, we actually are going to be reliant on being able to convince these guys over to our cause. And since we already ran all this way, I'm just going to go get that ruin. So 3 turns until Imperial Coinage. Out of curiosity. Okay, well, let's try to get it done. We've been moving people over to focused on science often enough that it's probably worthwhile to have the Center for Mineralogy. Single red unit needs to not be over here. Oh, look at that. Blue has now settled all the way around the edge of red. That's very interesting. And blue also settled in the region my other ruin is in, so I can't enter it. Well, so we now have the ability to request peace, and when you are at peace with somebody, you have a whole new range of diplomatic options available. He doesn't love that. Is there any way we can make that happen? Actually, yes, he will totally go nuts for a couple of our techs here. We could give him those. Oh, you'll notice language square is red. That means he doesn't want it. He actively considers that a detriment. There's a couple of reasons for that. There are some edge case reasons why you might want another player not to give you a technology. This is an Endless Legend community patch thing. The base game AI always wants techs, always wants all techs, and you could use that to screw with them sometimes. So if we get peace with blue or peace with red here. Maybe we can work together against blue in the future. I don't think I can get that going right now. Yeah, he's extremely not willing to declare war on blue. And then do you have anything... You don't really have anything useful? We might just give him this deal the way it stands now. Although, actually, it looks like it wouldn't be too hard to get open pit mine from him. We have so much influence to work with, in part because of... the religious fervor event, which has now ended, but also in part because of the symbiosis that we got. What if I just give you a little bit of stuff as well? A little bit of dust seems to do the job. You know, he loves this Palladian. Maybe we can make this a bigger deal than I thought it was going to be. Let's get, like, native district Because we actually do really want another assimilation slot. We could get some ship technology. We're working on Imperial coinage now. I'm fine just researching this manually. Especially since we're going to have to turn our guys around anyway. You get hydrology, which will give us the ability to build the big industry building. And then we can also get reaping station. Like, that's a lot of tech. This is a big move. How many techs away from this are we? Okay, so if we made this deal, when we finish Imperial coinage, it'll open up Era 3. I think I'm willing to do that. Let's be friends. So now that we're at peace, first of all, we have a ton of diplomatic options that we didn't have before, like cooperating on who will declare war on who. We can also make commercial and research agreements, which will increase the value of trade routes running to the targeted empire. Right now, it is not possible for us to run a trade route to him because we have no shared borders, and also I don't have the trade route tech. We can get a little bit of vision and map exchange. How does he feel about... Okay, he's not super wild about just a map exchange, but I could make that work. Wow, dude loves emeralds. Yeah, I'm willing to do this. I am tanking our influence out right before the Empire plan phase, I guess. Hold on. Okay, we will definitely have enough to do this. Also, didn't I have... Oh. He removed all my Ursus overgrowths without me noticing somehow. Oh, you know what? I bet the Declaration of Truce did that. We're no longer stealing stuff from him, so that's a shame. Well, we can go ahead and assimilate these boths. Remember, our assimilation cost is now 0, thanks to the assimilation trait we got there. Do I want 5% life or 5% science more? Probably the science, I think. That's a pretty good symbiosis trait. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this as well. I think we can afford the influence loss. And now we know everything about the world that he knows. He has explored out, he has seen some ocean. You can see he has conquered some of it. There are these villages out on the, fortresses out in the ocean that act like minor faction villages. They have resource and other sorts of little facilities attached to them. They give you various bonuses, and if you get all of the fortresses within an ocean region, you get control of the ocean, as though, you know, sort of in the same way as if it were a land region. So we don't know a ton, aside from the fact that blue is becoming a real problem for both of us, and that we both want him to go away. I bet we can turn that into something. For now, let us just let's just continue to pursue research here. So you can see, it's now going to take 4 turns for us to get Imperial coinage instead of 3. The reason for that is that each time you get a technology, the cost of all other technologies increases. Somebody else just built the industrial megapole. Yes, we've now formally encountered the Fomorians, who control the seas. Now that we can see stuff. Do we want to repop our emeralds? We really don't have to. Empire approval status is fervent. We're over 100% on this city, so yeah, it seems like the population of your overgrown cities does still affect your approval rating. Not great. Not a great thing. Hopefully they can get that bug under control soon. We don't need to pop these. It was Pink who built the industrial megapole. That doesn't mean anything to us. We don't know anything about Pink. This is raise a hero to level 8 to earn this reward. We are ranked 3rd on this quest, so we are probably not going to get it. Somebody else, at least 2 other players have at least level 6 on their heroes. Be the first to produce 1 of each of the first 4 strategic resources. Well, we're not doing that. In fact, yeah, okay, we are still producing both titanium and glass steel. So we lost any overgrowths we had over here, right? I guess that didn't really affect us. All of our resource extractors were in this area. Yeah, we're gonna have to do something about blue though. Well, let's just keep on keeping on until we have Imperial coinage. See if we can convert an Urkan or two, and then we'll see where things go from there. If we can bring an Urkan to bear against them, maybe we can make some more headway. Yeah, man, I just really need more science. And actually, these guys are going to relocate right as we right as we finish our tech too, aren't they? Ah, that sucks. Just a lot of bad timing here. Alright, the Draken have done this thing. Oh my. Also, huge Draken armies sail into view. No doubt with the desire to crush the Urkan. They would like to give me... They would like to give me a bunch of palladium for a smaller amount of titanium. If the AI is proposing something to you, I think that usually means that it's weighted a little bit in their favor. So if we were to counter-propose, we might be able to get a deal out of this that's a little bit more quote-unquote fair. But also, making deals with the AI that are in their favor is a positive diplomatic factor with them. So I'm just going to take this. Also, when somebody proposes a deal to you, it doesn't cost you any influence, so that's nice. Alright, the truce has ended. We are back to Cold War, which means that they can now attack us. Which is, I'm sure, part of what is motivating their movement here. This will get me just out of range, because it costs all of your movement points to come out of a... to change from naval to on land, or vice versa. Alright, let's get our access to the market and figure some stuff out here. Oh, actually, 1, 2, 3, 4... No, I'm fine. He can't attack me from here. We've reached Era 3, pretty far behind the pace of the other players, I imagine. So one of the Urkans went somewhere else. This one... I assume they're going to attack him. So it'd be dangerous for us to run over and try to make contact. If we hit Era 3... sadly, we did not reveal any new resources in either of our regions. We can now see the Palladian tier stuff, Palladian and Adamantian, and also, like, this tier of luxuries. And we actually already have access to extractors for that tier of luxuries, which is nice. Probably what we want next... What do we want next? Obviously, the smelting station will allow us to begin to erect extractors, although who knows how long those will stay up. We can go for more science. This is not as great for us as it was last game. Maybe I want to do this. Since we were given some palladium and everything, yeah, you know what? I like Plow Factory. Are these guys much tougher than last we saw? No, in fact, they seem to be the same units. Yeah. They are, in fact, the same. So we probably would do all right against them in battle, except if we have to fight all 12 of them at the same time, it's going to be bad, obviously. Ooh, that's Titan Bones. Probably want to put an extractor up on the Titan Bones, huh? Do we have any other cool stuff over here? Nope, just titanium. Oh no, there is a Titan Bone extractor there as well. How much food would this be? 12 for 6 turns? Let's go ahead and run extractors on the Titan Bones. I would love to get that resource going. I don't remember... 15 hydromiel. Okay. Hydromiel. There is not 15 of that on the market. That's a shame. all of a sudden, Moonleaf is looking like pretty good as a cost. So do we want to go toward him in the hopes that he will change over to a different resource? Or maybe that blue will deal damage to him but fail to kill him and we could scoop up the aftermath? Certainly a possibility, at least. His units are a lot better than... his units are a lot better than Blue's. Blue's units are terrible. But we have to remember that we can now be attacked by Blue, since it's Cold War again. I don't know. I don't know what's right. The next turn we'll have enough... Next turn we'll have enough science to go for canal locks. We can just build these instead. +1 industry on terrain with industry during the summer. Actually, how... That's not even good for us. We only have 2 industry generating tiles. Yeah, we're just in kind of a rough spot here, actually. I miss the ability to build Ursus. Well, we could start building toward this anomaly and also the river. And also, we have open pit mine now. I totally forgot about that. We should run this and this. Okay, we won't actually lose any points of population here. We kind of need to stay on science, huh? Because I would really like Plow Factory. Yeah, okay. Let's build out toward the river, I guess. Feels bad. So we're fervent now. I don't need to go for the approval boost. A little bit of extra attack on our units might be a good idea. Oh, building cost reduction. Building cost reduction is a good idea. Yeah, let's do it like this. That building cost reduction is actually going to be super relevant. I don't exactly know where their other army is. It was like right here. It probably had 6 move. I don't want to move up if they could hit us with all 12 of their units, right? But if it's just these ones, we might be able to just take this army out. If I fight them, though, I really want them to fight the Urkan and lose, and then I come in afterward and sweep up the remains. So, I want to move away from them a little bit. They're still in range to come after me if they want to. I can't really do anything about that. They're super fast. But let's see what their play is here. We do have the ability to just retreat and then make it back to our borders, where they will not be able to attack us. Oh, minus 100% regeneration on units. Units do not regenerate from damage. Well, that's a shame. I guess they have some ruins to search in the area. Yeah, units do not regenerate from damage. This is like a really bad time for that. Like a hugely bad time for that. It's just neutral boarding vessels sailing around. They are not a threat to us. The boats can't attack our city or anything. I gotta say, I am not loving how this episode is unfolding for us. We got that city, and that's cool, but I feel like we're just falling further and further behind by every other metric. Nice to have a friend. We do need to keep an eye on... Oh, interesting. They made peace with blue. And also with purple. Well, what I was going to say is we need to keep an eye on red and blue and see if they go to war with each other, but apparently that is not going to be happening. If we got peace with blue and then negotiated open borders, they would like to give me a technology in exchange for some of that palladium I gave them, leaving me enough palladium to build a plow factory. We haven't talked about stockpiles at all. I mean, hold on. You can see this is slightly in their favor. Would we have a different tech? I don't really know that I need unskilled labor. they're things I would like. They'll give a smelting station. So you see, any term of the deal that you alter, you have to pay the cost for. But this is a way better version of this. Okay. They have now attacked us. Notice they ran around this side so that if I retreat, they're making it harder for me to move away, which is crappy. That's a shitty thing of them to do. Just spiteful, really. We have a common friend. It may be possible that we have common interests. Everybody's always going to be mocking because everybody has a larger number of cities than we do, and AI always have a higher global score than you do because the global score system is not a super good representation of who is winning. Alright, you get this quest every time somebody builds a Guardian. It is just a quest for a unit that is particularly good against Guardians. It is not a quest we will be doing because we cannot afford to spare level 4 flying units. We also don't have access to flying units. Actually, that's not true. I guess we assimilated the Haunts. We can build their unit, which is flying. Do I think we could win this? Any damage dealt here is going to stay on the units for a long time. If we retreat here, all of our units are screwed up, and we won't be able to heal them for 9 turns at this point. This is pretty bad. If we fight and we lose, we have no military. And also we don't have the ability to build like, we're so busy, we can't afford to build military. I think we just bail. They've made it impossible for us to go after the Urkan in any way other than making deals with it. So we're just going to have to hope it moves somewhere else where that's possible. I guess we can make it possible pretty much anywhere with a tunnel. But we'd have to set up for that, obviously. Alright, we just need to get back inside of our borders quickly. Which we can do with the queue up, execute, and move function here. Just lovely. We are maintaining fervency for the moment. The Draken were the first to have a city's total income from trade routes be at least 20 dust, and so they've gained even more effectiveness on their trade routes. Blue is, it looks to me like Blue is kind of running away with things here. It was very, very good for us to have taken a city off of them, and frankly, we need to take a bunch more cities off of them if we want to have a chance here. Kind of want to build another burrow. That's a pretty high value burrow. It is going to drop us out of Fervent for a moment, which is obviously non-ideal. It's a pretty high value burrow, though. Alright, so once we have Plow Factory finished... I mean, I keep saying, oh, yeah, we'll beg off science and go back to food. But we're going to have a really hard time researching anything without all of our people on science. Honestly, even with everybody on science and our Center for Mineralogy up, our research rate's still pretty bad. Alright, so we have... This wouldn't actually... Yeah, I don't think popping the emeralds will actually get us back to Fervent, right? Because it'll add 5 approval to the city's population, bringing the city to 95, but then it's being counterbalanced by 2 points of population here that are permanently stuck at a lower approval level. So, 90%, but happy. This is another area where there's actually a display bug. Sometimes your Empire approval status value does not update right away. It updates at the beginning of every turn correctly. So it could be that we have 89 point something. It's rounding the value, but we're actually still happy. It also could be that we're ecstatic and it just didn't update this number. All of my biggest problems with Endless Legend relates to the way that the UI sometimes does not show information correctly. I mean, I'm going to leave this guy where he is in the hopes that in a couple of turns when we get a relocation of the Urkans, one of them ends up down here and we can just run over to it real fast. We have got to figure out a way to move toward victory a little bit more aggressively here. So blue is basically out of settling. Never mind. Blue apparently has settled over there. Red just kind of let them travel across the ocean. Ah, red does not actually control all of the oceans. This area is controlled by purple. Okay, and blue is at peace with purple. There's a great big power block forming, and we're sort of being left on the outside of it. Alright, blue has attacked the Urkan. They have failed, but not by that much. I think the Urkan also will not regenerate any health. So, not sure how this is going to go exactly. It looks to me like they won't be able to take him out. Man, if they left him super wounded, he's going to relocate in a second here. If they left him super wounded and then he just burrowed out over here and we were able to take him over by force, that would be pretty cool. I don't know that that would save us, necessarily, but it would be pretty cool. Okay, Khazar showed up over here. He is all screwed up still, right? Stats are pretty good, though. Like, we have to try, right? We have to do something gutsy. So an unknown empire has gained the health regen bonus. It's nice that it's not blue, at least. And somebody built the science wonder. Who was it? It was red. Yeah, we're getting left behind pretty badly here. Out of curiosity, do you now want... Nope, you still want hydromiel. Has anybody sold any hydromiel to the market? No. And we don't see any. Well, things are going poorly. I'm going to be straight up with you. This is not going that well. Definitely need a plow factory. This is like #1 highest priority. Get that done. Finishing this Burrow Street will reduce our approval by 10, so I don't want to do that right now. It's possible that on this coming turn, his desires will change. He will ask for a different thing. It's also possible that we can just take him, although I don't think it's super likely. I think we kind of have to try because we're desperate. I need some kind of benefit here. What do we want to research? The Advanced Alchemy Lab is starting to look a little bit better now as we build out our city a bit. Public Works is probably not right. We could go back and get something. Although, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't know that any of this stuff is really going to help us. We are in a real hole here economically, and I don't know how to get out of it. You research the dust refinery, it's going to take 16 turns if we don't have a ton of people assigned to science. We might have to rely more on influence for our technology, you know, just like trade stuff. We're going to run out of stuff to trade pretty quickly, though. Yeah, this is just grim. He has 640 health. His attack is 120. Which we are nowhere near defending against. So he's gonna hit for damage and a half when he hits. His defense is only 106, which we could potentially... Yeah, with a little bit of morale, we can hit 106, so we could hit him for full damage. But even at full damage, we're going to have to hit him 15 times to drop him. I mean, it's worth a try, I think. If we get lucky and he gets unlucky, we could totally win. And if we can't, I honestly might say let's just scoop it up, because I think we're so far behind that even if we kept pace with every other player for the rest of the game, we would lose. But we're falling further behind. It is actually worse than that case. Let's have a chat with our buddy Khazar here. See if things can maybe be brought around here. Maybe he can be brought to heel. And if not, then we might start a new game next episode. I just did not do a good job of keeping up economically here. It's tough. It's always tough with these single faction or single city factions. Alright, 15 hydromiel before we try any combat. First, check one last time. Nope, still nobody has any hydromiel sold. Then we check the other players. Sorry. If we offered you peace... Nope, okay. You can't just see everybody else's resources. You have to be, trying to negotiate something. You don't have any hydromiel. And let me guess. Yes, you also don't have any. This might be a situation where hydromiel didn't really spawn in the world. Well, nothing for it but to attack him then. This feels crazy. We're going to have to do a lot of damage. So, he has 4 speed. He has the Brotherhood of Urkans. Okay, so minus 50% damage dealt to other Urkans. So you can't use them easily to conquer each other. He is a Flame Walker, that's not a big deal. He cannot be killed. He loses stats during the winter, we know that. He has Sweep Strike Back, which doesn't really matter. He also has more initiative than a Rumbler, which is not great. He started far enough back here that we're not going to be able to attack him with the Rumbler. So we could like start right up on him and have our hero go after him. I was thinking we want to use the Rumbler to block one of his attacks as we fire at him. But maybe the play is that we do that. We just start far enough back. He has 4 movements, so he'll have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. Either way, he ends up here. We start all of our units on this side. Nobody gets to attack him on the first round. But we can put him in a position where the Rumbler probably is able to block him. So he ends up here. The Rumbler would have to take up the position after that. And would have to be able to block him from getting to any of our ranged. We can't really do that. He might choose to attack the Rumbler, but basically we need the Rumbler to waste a turn of his time while we're shooting ranged attacks at him, right? I'm going to try it like this, because losing our hero this early, I don't think it helps us to do anything other than hold off here. Back you guys way off, back everybody way off. He moves to here, and then you have to be here, I think? Alright, so we're going to draw him forward down the land bridge a little bit. Okay. There's no guaranteeing that he will attack the Rumbler. But we really need him to attack the Rumbler. I'm going to run the hero over to here. Let the Rumbler attack him if he doesn't... Yeah, alright. Let's see what happens. We gotta get lucky here. We gotta roll real high on damage a bunch of times. Good start. Oh, that was a half damage. Can't have that. Rumbler hits him for 0. That's pretty bad. So now the hero has to attack him. You should attack from over here. I guess we can just back up a little bit more. It's not going to matter. You can reach us either way. Okay, 79. That's good. We didn't do enough damage. And yeah, the hitting for random 22s is really hurting us. So he's going to get to... We're going to get to attack him 3 times, then he kills one of us. Then we attack him 2 more times, then he kills one of us. Then we get 1 more shot in. So we would have to do an average of 55-ish. Like, it's not... We don't have it. It could have happened. It didn't happen. Yeah, we rolled a bunch of half damages in a row there just to really hammer home the point that this is not going to occur. That sucks. Well, we tried. Like I said, the odds were bad. The odds were that we were not going to get it, but we needed something miraculous to happen here to drag us back into this game, because we are way, way out. Well, take one last spiteful attack at him. Hit me for 194. Hit me for like 50% more HP than I have when I'm at full health. Ah, well. Alright, I think we are out of this game. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't think there's any way for us to get back in from our position here. I need to not let us fall into such an economic doldrum in the middle of things, an economic malaise. So, that is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I believe we are going to be starting a new game when we come back tomorrow. I've always found the single city factions to be very, very difficult. I think the cult is super hard to play. and it looks like these guys are going to be kind of in that same vein. So it might take us a couple of tries to figure out a winning strategy here. I hope that you all will still enjoy watching it as we learn slowly and painfully. We'll come out the other side with, hopefully, strategy in addition to all the bruises. So come back next time for that, and we'll see you then.